reading of the monthly board meeting for Reese Forest School District. Do we have any changes to the agenda, John?
We have a revised agenda in front of you that is, it's correct at this time.
Okay. All right. If you wouldn't mind joining me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we have a quorum. And we have a revised agenda, so some changes. So the first item on our agenda is number 7, the appointment of a school board member for a vacant position of Carrie Jones. We have an applicant. I have a question for the board. Wanting to know if we only have one applicant, so unless we do have any others, John? Any other applicants?
We're only aware of one applicant.
Okay. So we can take action on it tonight. We can table it and then take it up next month to allow longer time for more applicants. So I'm looking to see how you guys feel about that. Which one next month?
I felt we were lucky to get one applicant, honestly. I mean, I put it out there to as many people as I could. I told as many people as I can. I think we're very fortunate to get the applicant that we got. And so I don't think by putting it off any longer, it's going to do us any good.
Cindy?
I do feel somewhat the same, as far as I don't know that we would necessarily get any others, unless there was somebody saying that they didn't see it. I did let people know. I also, when I ran, was unopposed, so I don't know how many more that we would get.
Okay. All right, so that is 3 votes, or 3 comments, sorry. You guys have to forgive me, I'm just new at this, so. So, Mr. Moore, are you sure on your vote? You
I am.
consideration? Okay.
I think we need to wait a little.
You think we need to wait a little bit? Okay. Well, I'm on the fence because I would like to get everybody going in the same direction, is what I would like to do.
One question, but how long does this position just fill until like the position ends, or how long does this position expire?
This will fill Carrie Jones' position, so it's 2 years.
Oh, it is still 2 years.
Mhm.
Okay, I was
He's
curious
got
how
2
much time
years
left. Okay.
in his position. So, well, I'm gonna have to say I would like to go ahead and talk to Chris and interview him for this position.
Can I sit here?
Pardon me?
Can I sit here?
Yeah, we have a question for you.
Okay. Why am I doing this?
Do you want to do this? Okay, so Chris, why are you interested in serving on the school board here, board of directors at this time?
Okay, I have more time in my life. I haven't been able to serve on very many boards because of my business, and got 2 grandkids coming, so not a big agenda item for me or anything, but I'm a little bit more interested what's going on, and I was asked.
Okay. And you understand what the board's role is. In your own words, what's the role of school board member, and how does that role differ from the superintendent's role?
It's a governing organization, not hands-on in the school. I mean, I approve the budget. I mean, I've served on the board once before, and I don't think that school boards have a whole lot of responsibilities for operating school districts. I think that's something. because I think school districts in the state of Oregon are kind of controlled. But still, it needs to be done, and somebody's got to do it. So I understand the separation between the administrative staff and the school board.
And school
That's what you're asking.
Yeah, okay. And describe how would you would approach a board decision when there are strong opinions on both sides? And what information would you rely on to guide your vote?
All the information that's available to me. It would depend on the nature of from what I know, probably most of the important decisions that the school board faces are divisive these days particularly. So some of it you gotta vote your own conscience. Some of it you gotta take the individual circumstances into account, and probably a combination of those two things.
Tell us about a time you had to set aside a personal belief or preference in order to make a decision that was the best for a larger organization or group.
Well, it's not something I've done a lot of, but, I don't have a ready answer to that one, so.
Okay, fair enough. And what ethical responsibilities do school board members have, and how would you handle confidential or sensitive information?
Well, I'm pretty used to that particular thing in my profession, so that's not a problem for me, but, ethics is ingrained in my profession, so it's nothing new.
Okay, last question. How do you handle disagreement within a group, and how would you support a board decision once the majority vote is taken, even if you disagree?
I probably still vote my conscience.
You want your conscience?
There might be times I can be swayed for the better, for the bigger and better good, I guess, but, if it's a divisive issue, then I probably vote my conscience.
Okay, you guys, you've heard the answers, questions and the answers. So,
Can I ask a question real quick? Chris, can you tell us what your profession is, so that nobody up here knows what you do for a living?
I've been a CPA in Reedsport for 46 years.
Thank you.
anybody else? Any more questions? Okay, all right. So you wish to install this applicant, reject it, and table it till next month? What say you?
I'd like to make a motion to install him.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to install Chris and a motion to install by Kim Hardy and a second by Cindy Phillips. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, we have 3, 4, and 1 abstain. So, motion carried. Chris? Both move over. Come on up.
Like a big egg in there.
You've got a spot now.
I have to swear you in.
Here.
Okay.
All right, hand.
Okay. I state your name.
I state my name. I, Chris Bond,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Oregon and the laws thereof,
the Constitution of the State of Oregon and the laws thereof,
and the policies of the Reedsport School
and the
District.
policies of the Reedsport School District.
During my term, I will faithfully and impartially discharge responsibilities of the office of school board member to the best of my ability. Okay, let's break that down. During my term, I will faithfully and impartially discharge
During my term, I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the responsibilities of the office of school board
the
member
responsibilities of the office of school board member
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Welcome aboard.
Thanks, Mike.
part of the whole night, as Carrie Jones would say, are the accolades. Love this part.
We have 3 teachers and 3 students joining us tonight. I always like to highlight the fact that this is the only opportunity all year long that a teacher gets to pick the one candidate who they want to bring forward for a superintendent award. So without further ado, I'm going to invite up Nisa Gunn and Noah Blosh to start us off, and we can see how these look and go. Right here, your family wants to see this.
All right. It is a pleasure to recommend Noah for the Superintendent Award this month. He is such a well-rounded young man who exemplifies the qualities that I believe a recipient of this award should have. He's hardworking, dedicated to his studies, his friends, and his extracurricular activities. He's responsible, respectful, and reliable. Kindness radiates from him, and his subtle sense of humor is something that many may not see immediately, but often makes those around him feel comfortable and at ease in the classroom. As a student, Noah has shown a sense of maturity that many his age lack. He's on time to class, timely with his assignments, and maintains focus when things around him get a little distracting. He's quick to help those around him and redirect his group members to remain on task. More than that, he's adaptive and unafraid to put himself out there for projects and assignments, or if I simply need to volunteer for something unconventional. For example, recently during a short story unit in our English class, I was feeling under the weather. I couldn't read without coughing, and yet we had established a routine of reading out loud together as a class. Noah took it upon himself to volunteer and created Story Time with Noah to help me out. He pulled up a chair, sat in front of the class, and read. This not only helped me, but entertained the class and kept them engaged with the material. This wasn't the first time he's been noticed for doing something like this either. His other teachers have talked about his willingness to stand up and command the room with respect and integrity. He has a way about him that makes people listen and want to pay attention. He's also been known to go the extra mile with projects such as creating an engaging podcast to recap major events of a novel or seeking guidance when writing a creative short story that he wasn't feeling as confident in initially. Noah is also my student aide this year and has been more than an asset to me in the classroom. He's helped me stay organized and prepared for my lessons. He's helped students with their work. He's even helped me make sure things get done with my subs when I've been absent. He's never complained and always looks for some way to keep himself busy by helping me or others out. On a personal note, I appreciate Noah's stoic nature and his sense of humor. He's always the calm in the classroom. He can hit a joke's punchline with ease, as well as settle and sit in the background when I need things to remain quiet. He is friendly and good-natured with everyone and makes everyone feel accepted and comfortable. It's nice to see someone who is willing to treat others so kindly. I know that Noah has aspirations to join the Coast Guard, and I applaud him for this ambitious goal. His dedication to hard work, his resilience, and his strong sense of responsibility will surely help him in this endeavor. He will surely be successful in this goal and any other that he should set his mind to. I'm proud of you, Noah, as I'm sure your parents are. Good luck in everything that you do.
And we'll have another high school person coming in next month. They're not able to be here tonight, and we'll catch up with them. So we're going to move to elementary school. Mrs. Wright has brought her student Harley White with her. So Harley and Mrs. Wright, come on up.
She's always this quiet in class. To the family of Harley White. It is a joy to recognize Harley White as the recipient of the Superintendent Award. Harley is a delight to have in class, and she regularly displays all the qualities you hope to see in a student. Kindness, helpfulness, eagerness to learn, and genuine curiosity. Her respect for her teachers and her strong work ethic shine through everything she does. Harley approaches every assignment with care and pride, always striving to make her work not only correct, but beautiful. I especially love seeing her smile when our math centers involve fun tools like rubber stamps, or colorful markers, it's a reminder of how much joy she brings to learning. Whether she is listening attentively during a lesson or energetically helping tidy up the classroom at the end of the day, I know Harley will choose to do the right thing. She is truly one of the best listeners I've ever had the privilege of teaching. It's true, okay? And her respectful behavior sets a wonderful example for her classmates. Congratulations to Harley and to your family on this well-deserved honor. She has worked so hard, and I am deeply grateful for the positive spirit she brings to our classroom every day. Thank you for sharing this amazing young lady with me. It has been a privilege to teach her. Congratulations.
This letter you can. And finally, we have Mrs. Daly and her student Riley Myers. Come on up. It's going to be good. This is a nice letter, Riley.
To the family of Riley Myers, it is my great pleasure to announce that your daughter is the recipient of the Superintendent's Award for the month of January 2026. Riley is being recognized for her exceptional qualities and the positive impact she makes each day in our classroom and school community. Riley embodies the very best of our district's values, and she approaches each day with a bright spirit and a genuine love of learning. Riley's kind and caring nature shines through in all that she does. She consistently demonstrates empathy and a willingness to help those around her, making our classroom a warm and welcoming place for her peers. She has a generous heart, and I love being witness to her thoughtful interactions with others. In addition to her kindness, Riley is known for her artistic talents and her remarkable attention to detail. Whether she is creating artwork, engaging in class discussions, or completing assignments, she approaches her work with care, creativity, and a strong desire to do her best. She remains fully present and engaged in her learning, showing a level of focus and dedication beyond her years. Riley is truly a one-of-a-kind student, a child whose curiosity, enthusiasm, and eagerness to learn make her an absolute joy to have in class. Her commitment to growing as a learner and as a friend sets a wonderful example for her peers. On behalf of the entire district, please accept my heartfelt congratulations. We are incredibly proud of Riley and grateful to have her as part of our school community.
And those same teachers and kids will stay up here. We're going to do Riley. We'll do a quick photo op for our Facebook page.
Ready?
So intimidating.
Hi, okay, I'm gonna try and take some pictures where everybody's eyes are open and everybody's smiling, so look this way.
You too know.
Hello. Thank you.
I love that part.
Also under accolades, this is School Board Appreciation Month. And so we want to take a quick opportunity to go through a proclamation that the Governor of Oregon has made about school boards. This is from the State of Oregon, Office of the Governor. Whereas Oregonians rely on public education to ensure a prosperous quality of life and strong economic health for Oregon, and whereas locally elected boards fulfill leadership roles and serve as a conduit through which teachers, parents, businesses, and communities demonstrate the care, creativity, and support that lead to student achievement, and whereas public school nurtures and trains diverse student populations with varying resources to give students the knowledge, skills, and opportunities they need to succeed. And whereas board members build the framework that makes it possible for education organizations to educate Oregon's children. And whereas we thank the committed community members who serve on the boards of Oregon's 197 school districts, 19 education service districts, and 17 community colleges for their dedication to the education of needs of Oregonians. Now therefore, I, Tina Kotek, Governor of the State of Oregon, hereby proclaim January 2026 to be School Board Recognition Month in Oregon and encourage all Oregonians to join in this observance. Witness thereof, and their seal is affixed to the proclamation. So, starting at the highest level of our state. Thank you very much for your work. And as you look around the room, you'll see some of the work that our students and the staff have put together, also in appreciation and recognition of you. I have one more item in my, when I get to my report, that I'll share as well, but that'll come later.
Thanks, John. Okay, number 11 on our agenda are reports. Here, Rachel.
I believe that the auditor was not requested to log on until 6 p.m. So I don't know if you wanted to take a brief recess and enjoy your goodies for board appreciation while we wait for her to log on.
We could do that. We could take a short break. It's only a matter of 9 minutes, so 10 minutes.
I need a cookie.
I need a cookie. Let's have a cookie. We'll break for just 9 minutes, 10 minutes.
Thank you.
Faster than you thought.
I know.
I
Ask a question.
There's cookies out there, guys. You guys can help yourself to cookies.
Soon got smaller. It is smaller, isn't it? And it was way back.
Yeah, there used to be
There
7.
used to be more
Yes.
over
We have
here.
7
yeah.
7 members, yeah.
Oh, that, the board is
Board,
smaller.
yeah,
too.
Board is
Uh-huh.
smaller.
Okay.
That's the only reason.
I think the room is smaller though, too.
Oh, I don't know.
Sure, is that right, Charlie?
I think so, yeah.
It feels smaller, let's.
That's the way it happens. Go back to your grade school, they all look smaller.
That's true. I even hear the high school kids, when they do like the clap out, and they walk down the hallways, you know, of Highland, and they say, oh, it's so small.
I might be wrong about that. Maybe the seating was different or something. It seemed like there was more.
Yeah.
It's been a dare, Chris.
30 years.
I can remember camping at Umpqua Lighthouse Park when I was a kid. We spent 2 weeks there every single summer, and I couldn't wait as an adult when I moved back, and I brought my husband, and I'm like, you have to see this country, it's so fun. We spent like every summer just rolling down the hill from the bathroom, doing somersaults, and we just rolled and rolled and rolled, and we drove around the loop. I'm like, oh my gosh, they must have cut the hill down. It's just so short. I'm like, well, that's weird, the bathroom's the same.
That's fun.
Did you convince him to somersault down with you? No?
You've seen bigger hills, you're a forester, you know.
In between getting off work meeting, I was made to get puppy things.
I didn't realize mine was it. I didn't know who was.
Kim and I joined over like
I knew Kim was.
July, yes,
Just last night.
yeah, so, we are on the same
And how hot
time.
it was.
And then,
And I put on the salad, and that was like,
She's the longest.
yeah.
brother, because I was telling him,
That's what I just signed up for, thanks.
Did you know what you were getting into?
I thought it was 1 year. So that was.
What's one more?
I think he's up in 27.
I had this month.
Yeah, Carrie would have done it.
And that's 1 year. Right.
I think Carrie was too.
Now That's what it's what it is.
You're in
It's
now.
really snug to sign up, so here we go. This is
Yeah, I'm not even sure if you get to, you might have to be elected.
Oh, the next time around, I'm sure I will.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's,
It doesn't carry over.
No, it doesn't carry over. I have to be
like
elected.
in May, you might have to be elected for the seat.
Oh, even in May?
Yeah.
Go till the end of their term and then.
Yeah, okay, I don't know, yeah.
I figured the election for when's the start date on a term? January or July? Oh, July.
Yeah, so the
So
elections
this
are
might
all-
just go till July or till July of 27.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Huh?
The election
It's
is
in May, but,
and then your term starts in July.
so this one may end June 30th of 27. Is that kind of what I'm in?
That's,
A year and a half from now? That's all right. Well, they said 1 year, I mean, I wasn't splitting hairs over the months.
I don't know how to tell if she is.
I thought it was only 2 weeks.
Oh, did you run?
Yes.
Oh, you ran?
Yes, so Kim and I did, because we didn't actually think Carrie Over had been on the board too.
Oh,
She ended up rerunning, so I ran on post, nobody else, Kim and I.
you ran against Carrie? That a girl.
So after I got my papers, I said, Kim, this says it's 4 years. She's like, yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
And
but
like,
now.
once you're like, no, I'm gonna have to run to get to catch that next board.
Kim was like, yeah, but it's okay.
That looks like a mild meeting. All that way, everybody home?
I mean,
Understand?
so far, they kind of been like this, we have some town hall meetings, and we'll talk later on the agenda, but they're wanting to have a public meeting on our enrollment decline. So that's our enrollment decline.
Oh, I saw that.
So that might be something that'll be, so that's how people attending.
There was a significant between last year and this year.
We had,
Yours has always been harder so far.
research like for
Yours has always been
other
harder so
schools.
far.
So, something
Messed up a little.
to try to get our numbers.
Yeah.
Yes. Kelsey is online.
Okay. So we'll bring this meeting back to order.
Okay,
Now you're on.
thank you. Okay, so online we have Kelsey Pardon with Nooner Davidson Company, and she is the partner that led the audit for the Edsport School District for 24-25.
Hi, Kelsey.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'm Kelsey Pardon. I was the partner in charge for your guys' audit this year. So I'm just gonna go over the audit as a whole and go through the financial reports. So I'll start with our auditor's report. So we have to give an opinion on the financial statements as a whole. So on page 1, we are saying that we are giving an unmodified opinion, which is the best opinion that you can get from an audit. So we're saying, in our opinion, the financial statements referred to above are presented fairly in all material respects, and we don't think that there's any issues with the financial statements. They're accurate. So in the audit report, we give like our basis for the opinions. You guys are an accrual district, so we book everything and adjust everything on GAAP basis. We just started explaining that in the audit report as well. And that's just page 1 and 2 of the audit report, 1, 2, and 3. And then if you go to page 4, it's the management's discussion and analysis. So this is just financial highlights that management wants you to see. Most of it is the changes from the prior year to the current year, and just looking at what financially what the district looks like at June 30th for 2025. So I'll start with the financial statements on page 8. This is your statement of net position. This is the balance sheet for the district on an accrual basis and GAAP basis. So because you guys are a school district, you book everything through governmental accounting. So what we do is we pull the liabilities, and we also accrue PERS liabilities, which are issued by the state. And then we also incorporate all of the other assets you guys have for the district. A lot of it is just stuff that we have to do to get it on a GAAP basis. It's not a pure reflection of what the district looks like. I like to look at the later statements to kind of see where you guys are sitting. But on page A2 is your statement of activities. And that shows through all the adjustments we had to make for GAAP basis. The first column is your total expenditures. So your total expenditures for the district are $10,821,212. And then the next two columns are all of the grants and contributions, and then also services that covered those that are outside of the general fund. And then if you go down to the bottom section, you can see all the general fund revenues that are used after the grants and special revenue that came in for the district. So your total change in net position for the year was a positive of $1,748,580. So that's where your net position at the year end is $6,244,294. So if you go to the next statement, that's your Schedule B1, that's on page 10. It shows the breakdown of your governmental funds. This is more reflective of what the district has in assets and liabilities at year end. So it has the breakdown of the general fund, what your unassigned fund balance is, your cash, and liabilities. And then it breaks it down for special revenue funds, debt service, and then capital projects. And then the next statement is your Schedule B2. This is just a reconciliation page. I'm not going to go over that because it's just for the GAAP basis financial statements. So Schedule B3 is probably the statement that we like to review the most at year end. It shows the breakdown of your revenue and expenditures, and then any transfers between funds, and then what your ending fund balance is. So for the general fund, your ending fund balance was $1,552,670. We like to look at that in respect to the total expenditures and see that if you were not to get any revenue, how long you guys could operate as a district. We like it to be about 20% so that there's a healthier ending fund balance in case something were to happen. I know in prior years it's gotten lower than we had wanted, but it's ending at $1,552,000, which is close to 20%, which is good. You guys we also like to look to see what is budgeted for the next year as the beginning fund balance, so that to make sure that the business manager was incorporating the right numbers. And you guys budgeted $1.2 million for the beginning fund balance for the general fund, so you guys ended up more than what you budgeted, which is great. Special revenue funds, your ending fund balance is $398,790. A lot of that is restricted from federal and state grant funding. You guys budgeted that it would be $233,000, so you ended up having more of a fund balance at the end of the year. And then debt service, pretty straightforward. Budgeted $500,000, ending fund balance was $473,000. And then capital projects fund, budgeted $223,000, and the ending fund balance was $185,000. But overall, you guys are you ended up having more of a fund balance than you budgeted for the next year. And then I'm going to go to Schedule B5 is just your scholarship funds. and it shows how much cash you have for those scholarship funds, $228,982. And then page 16 is the notes. It's just going to go through each part of the financial statements and go into a little bit more detail. I'm not going to go over anything. A lot of it doesn't change from year to year. It just discloses the amounts in case you want to go into more detail on the financial statements. So if you go to required supplementary information, page 43, that is the budgetary comparison schedules. So it shows how much you budgeted for the year and then where you ended. We also like to make sure that there was no over expenditures. There wasn't for the general fund. And I don't think there was for any of the funds, which is good. So it means that you guys budgeted correctly and made the correct budget resolutions to cover where the district ended at the end of the year. And so then it goes out to Schedule D2, which just shows the each special revenue fund and what revenues and expenditures went out of each fund in that detail. And then page 54 is the Oregon state regulation report. So we have to do a couple extra things because you guys are a school in Oregon. We just have to make sure that your budgets have been done correctly and at the correct times. We look to see that your deposits of public funds with financial institutions are within the correct guidelines. State school funding factors look correct based on what we're seeing for the district. We make sure you have insurance. We didn't see any issues. There was nothing that we noted or found wrong with any of these areas. So that's just in that report, we're stating that. And then because you guys had over $750,000 in federal revenue for the year, we have to do a single audit. So this is the last year, it's going to be $750,000. It's going up to $1 million next year. So we just have to look and make sure that you're following correct compliance with the grant funding. And then we choose a certain program to review, and we chose the school lunch program this year for you guys. And we did not find any issues when we were doing our testing this year. If you go to page 63, you can see the breakdown of all the federal funding that came in. You guys have $978,015. So if funding's similar to this year, you probably won't qualify for a single audit this next year, but we'll find out. So I think that is the whole audit. Yeah, like I said, we didn't find any issues or findings or anything. The district had reported everything correctly, and yeah, we had an unmodified opinion. So if you guys have any questions for me?
Any questions? Chris? I guess we have no questions. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kelsey. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, of course. All right.
Good night.
Okay. Moving on to the reports. Rachel, you still on hold?
I'm still on hold.
Still on hold. Okay, let me get to that part.
So, I want to talk about the general fund balance, because she had mentioned that the fund balance for the general fund, that we had budgeted 1.2 million, and that it was, let me get to page 10 again, hang on. $1,552,670.
What page is that, Rachel?
10 or 12 in the audit. So on the financial report, on this page or the cash summary, either one, if you look under federal forest fees, we budgeted $252,428. That was the money that, the state had, taken of our money out of the state school fund in previous years and counted it as local revenue and, withheld it from our state school fund, and then they were told, oh, you weren't supposed to do that, that was against the law. And so then they took money out of the budget last year and they wrote us a grant agreement for this year to give that money back. But then when they did that in the grant agreement, they decided, oh, by the way, this is gonna be state revenue and not federal revenue. So if you notice in the column, it says, the column right, the row right above it, the budget was $2,500, but we have received $253,937. So the revenue is in a $3,000 revenue instead of federal forest fees. It's other state grants instead of federal forest fees. But next month, you're gonna see that money is going to change. And instead, where we have at the top, our beginning fund balance estimate of 1.2 million, it's gonna be 1,522,670 because ODE decided we don't want you to post that revenue in this year, even though this year is when we signed your grant agreement. We want you to accrue it back to last year. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? So that's why our ending fund balance in the audit shows a different amount than what we have estimated in the board reports for this year. So that was a surprise at the end of our audit, that we had to do a journal entry to accrue it back into last year.
It's good to have that money back, but the state money.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the same money and it still would have been money in this year, it's just that it's showing in a different revenue spot in this year than what we had originally anticipated. So instead of being considered revenue, it's considered our beginning fund balance in this year. So, same money, just a different spot. Yeah. So I just wanted to prepare you in advance that next month, this is gonna be in a different place because ODE recommended, they requested us to move it there. And in fact, the conversation started because when I talked to the auditors about it after we received our journal entries, I said, they had actually put it in 3101, which is our state school fund money. I said, this is not state school fund money. The state school fund money is finite, and I know it's not state school fund money. It should be in a different state revenue source. And so we kind of went back and forth on that. And so they said, well, we're gonna reach out to ODE and find out for sure what they want. And they called back and said, oh, you're right, it is not state school fund money. It is this other grant revenue source, you're correct. And then they said, but by the way, they want it in last year. I'm like, okay, well, at least we were both right. It's in the wrong spot. So now they had to go back and tell all of their districts that they have to modify their audits because of that conversation. So yeah, at least we didn't have to do that. So that one will just be different next month, and I just wanted to make sure that you were prepared in advance, but also I just want to make sure to give all of the credit to Josh for his extensive work and having a clean audit. He really did a phenomenal job in making sure that, you know, the hours that were put in to get everything prepared for this process to go through and just putting in the time. So making sure that I'm not giving kudos for this, that he's the one that was boots on the ground, making sure that it happened. So,
Thank you, Josh. A lot of work. A lot of work there.
Are there any questions for me on the financials? Any questions that came in on expenditures or anything?
Anybody have any questions? Okay.
Well, if you have any, you know where to find me.
Okay. And we have the dates for the RFPs.
Yes, thank you for responding back and getting those out. Those have been posted to the Daily Journal of Commerce, so we have the dates for opening listed on the revised agenda. So we are ready to roll for those and expecting those to start coming in.
Okay. So for the security fencing, the meet will be with Cindy Phillips and I on February 10th at 3 o'clock. And there are many splits of the kindergarten on February 11th at 3:30 p.m. Okay, everybody good with that? Okay. Moving on to C, Superintendent Report, Mr. Zimsky, please.
Okay. This month, we have a report from IT, help desk, the technology side. They have received 313 tickets from Q4. So we're creating Q4 2025. That's about 10 and a half tickets coming in per school day. 93% of those tickets are closed. Sometimes those tickets were discussions that were reminders, long-term projects, but they've been very diligent about getting things taken care of as they occur. A couple of accomplishments they want to recognize in the last quarter, getting out the Synergy report cards. There's a lot of work, especially at Highland, getting those fine-tuned so that we could use them for families and consolidating what used to be a rather large report card into a much more compact one. Al, who is our remote assistant here, worked extensively with teachers and administrators at HES to get the customized report cards formatted, completed. Once handwritten grades were entered for Q1, which they've completed, and these second quarter grades that are coming out should be easily published and submitted. Also, the paging system at the school district office, with the help of our vendor, they installed a paging system at the district office that covers the warehouse and the Head Start classrooms. This capability is already in place in both the high school and the elementary, and this will allow for universal notification for emergencies and other things. A couple challenges that IT faced was a loss of power on the 18th of December, start of winter break. High winds blew down power lines on Longwood Drive. The loss of power at all buildings and sports facilities. The extended outage resulted in multiple problems because, one, there was damage to critical infrastructure, network switches, HVAC, Bell Commander PCs, and two, because of the reconfiguration of network resources based on TCP and IP addresses. So I think, to my understanding, we were all corrected, but coming back from the winter break was putting some pressure on getting these things corrected. There's also some network performance challenges. They needed vendor assistance to help with several core measurements and replacement of old hardware. And they've used E-rate money to assist with the project. Are there any questions you want me to relay to technology for response?
Everything's up and running, so good job.
Yeah, they work very hard. All the departments work hard, and I appreciate it amongst all the staff. Junior high and senior high school quarterly report for sports. They had finished junior high girls basketball, junior high wrestling. Prior to the break, both sports having successful seasons. There was a total of 19 wrestlers, which was more than they've had in the 8 previous years combined. They also hosted a junior high wrestling event. It was the first one in 8 years this year, and it went very smoothly. Accolades go to them for that. They're currently in the middle of high school wrestling and their basketball seasons, with the junior high boys basketball getting started. This is the first year I'm aware of. We have a bowling club that is competing as well. Mr. Mammon at the high school is part of that. He's also started up a math club, which as of last week, there were 68 students involved in that, which that's quite a turnout. That should be a good infusion of wrestlers into the program in coming years. I imagine 68 kids in that upper balcony area of the elementary school, and I know they're as young as kindergarten. That will be quite the adventure. You have any questions you like me to relay back to the coaches?
How many kids went off of bowling?
I don't have a number on the bowling. It was 68 kids for the NAP club, the wrestling club.
4 for bowling.
Well, that doesn't cost any money, really. The bowling does, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're paying for that?
No,
No? Okay.
the
saw that post and I thought that was really
Okay, cool.
cool because I hadn't heard it.
Maybe
Us
volunteer
having a
next
board.
time to do it, so.
Sure.
He was amazing too, and I just want to say, he came over to Highland and went to every single homeroom and visited and invited and encouraged. Kids were so excited. I've never seen so many parents, and I'm talking kindergartners, a lot of them. So, yeah, he took them all on, so it's impressive.
That's a big task.
Yeah.
Does he have help?
So you're talking about the wrestling? Talking about-
Mhm.
Okay, 2 years ago, my nephew's son, my grandnephew, wrestles for North Bend's junior high team. So we go to the district 2 years ago at Marshfield and watch him wrestle. And, you know, it's all on the phone now, they don't hand you a bracket, so I couldn't really see what was going on. And I said, is there any kids from Reedsport here? And the people I was with started looking, they go, wait, there is one kid. Well, it's Malachi Shoepels, who I know him real well. And so I go, well, so we stick around to watch Malachi wrestle. We watched him until he got beat. And so we leave with one Reedsport kid, and I'm like, geez, you know. So then this year we go to Florence to watch my nephew's kid wrestle again. And not knowing what we were gonna see from Reedsport, but a little, you know, I was kind of perked up a little bit, hoping to see at least a Reedsport kid there. And we got there early, so we're sitting in the stands, and we were kind of, we were way early. And pretty soon here around the corner comes one Reedsport wrestler. Like, oh, I think Reedsport kids are here, you know, like that. Expected to see 3, 4 or something maybe like that. They just kept coming all the way across the stands. And then later on I met with the coach, and they had 19 wrestlers there. So they go from 1 to 19 in 1 year. A bunch of them were girls, which was fine because I thought probably half of the total wrestling, the numbers in the gym, maybe not quite half, but it seemed that way, were girls from all teams, you know. It was probably at least 30%. I'd say that's for sure, but it seemed like it was maybe half. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool.
That's cool, that's good
Yeah.
to know.
So let's at least get a good wrestling team going on.
There's about 4 people that are helping him. Carson Keith helped with the junior high, who graduated from here a couple years ago. And then there's a couple of other parents that are helping.
Oh, good. Good. 'Cause that's a big task, mothers, yeah.
They had to split them, have them on both sides of the gym.
Without a MAC club to start the kids young, swimming's a lot like, wrestling's a lot like swimming, and maybe golf too. And if they don't start young, they can gain a certain level of competence later on, but they usually can't get very far up there if they didn't start when they were kids. So I'm glad to see that they've got the MAC club going. That's kind of what I was interested in.
Very good.
I have one more item in that report, and I'll give you copies of this. A little bit fun to end on. This is an ode to the Reedsport School Board because we are in the School Board Appreciation Month. So here we go. It's School Board Appreciation Month, so pause and take a seat. A round of well-earned thanks and cookies you can eat. They read the stacks of paperwork, they ask the tough but fair. They show up late at night because our schools matter that much to them. Rare. They juggle budgets, policies, and emails by the ton, while calmly nodding through agendas longer than a marathon run. They listen, learn, and lead with care through sunshine and through a fog. Yes, even when the public comment clock feels like it's stuck on second. Listen, learn, and lead with care through sunshine and through fog. Yes, even when the public comment clock feels like it's stuck on slog. Chairman Bonnie, keep things moving, steady, thoughtful, and kind, with a gavel, smile, and focus that helps everyone stay aligned. When conversations wander off, as meetings sometimes do, Bonnie gently brings us back to students, front and center, true. And directors, with insight sharp and questions right on cue, bring experience and perspective to everything they do. A steady voice, a thoughtful take, a calm and measured way, helping guide the district forward, one good decision at a day. To every board member serving Reedsport's kids and crew, thank you for the time you give and all the work you do. We see the hours, heart, and humor you bring along the way. Happy School Board Appreciation Month. You truly earned the praise.
Wow. Wow, thank you. I don't know who wrote that, but that's, wow. Thank you. Okay, community comments. Do we have any community comments online?
And I don't think we've seen any online. Tosh could verify that for us.
Yeah, nothing in the chat.
Okay, thank you. We have received a community comment from Todd Harrington, and we have read it, and thank you very much for your comments.
We don't have any in the basket.
Okay, thank you, John.
Is that in our packet?
No. Okay, so nobody wants to have a comment?
I got a comment.
Okay.
Charlie's here.
Charlie Duke, Bridgeport Fire Chief. So, Highland and the high school both notify us when they're having fire drills, which they have one per month. And so we go over there and we've been timing them on how quickly the students come out. Both schools are doing an excellent job getting the kids out. There's always a big worry about leaving a kid in there. They're taking roll call. They're able to let us know if somebody's missing. Every so often they'll pull a kid out and see if the teachers catch it. So kudos to the high school and Highland for doing a well-done job of getting those kids out of there.
I remember that. I remember we had one student missing. Where are they at? And you guys always pulled one out.
Yeah, the custodian has them.
Exactly. Thank you. Okay, we have a section 13 consent agenda. Routine actions that typically require no discussion, such as the approval of previous meeting minutes and the acceptance of donations, are frequently addressed collectively in a single vote by the board. I will consider entertaining a motion.
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda as written. Thank you, Chris. Chris Sullivan, right?
Yeah. That wrestling coach at the junior high needs to get all the support he can get. That guy's doing it right.
Thank you. I'll second that, Bob.
Okay, we have a motion by Bob Moran to approve this consent agenda, and from Kim Crowley is the second. All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous, thank you. And yes, Chris, thank you. And the other donations too that have been given are very thoughtful and appreciated. Thank you. Okay. We have an action item number 14 to approve the audit by Nooner Davidson as presented. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the action item as written. Move the audit.
I'll second.
Okay. Bob Moran's made a motion to approve the action item 14A, and Cindy Phillips has seconded. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, number 15. Under discussion is A is name change and signage of Pepio Field. Do we have any community comments for that process?
Which field?
Baseball field.
Is it named right now?
It's
Currently, it's all pet.
it's all Ruby Field right now.
Oh, it's all, yeah, all right.
Separate
I got you, so the carving out the baseball field.
Yeah, and
Gotcha.
it's made as Pepio Field, yes. Okay, no comments? Shall we put that as an action item for February?
Sure, yeah, and then if anybody else has any comments, and then we on it next February. month in February.
Okay. Do I need to entertain a motion for that, John?
Nope, you just direct us to write it on the agenda.
We'll write it on the agenda.
Okay.
Tapioca for next month. Okay, under discussion B, the Associated Student Body SB baseball account, I want to remind our board here that our direction is budget, policy, and we supervise the superintendent. In no way will we address personnel matters in this, if it's involved in this. That's not our purview. They would have any responsibility for that, so. Don't bring up anything personal in your conversations, okay? And I think, Kim, you wanted to bring that up. Do you have anything that you want to say?
I just was wondering if so the board got an email, and I was just wondering if it was ever responded to.
We've received, we've responded to emails, and they've taken that, they've sent those out. So
They've sent, so his email was responded to after he sent us a message. After he sent the board.
the district has responded to that. That is in their area, not our area. Okay?
Yeah, just, no, I mean, I want to make sure if it's, if something gets sent to the superintendent, just to respond to that, so just want to make sure that that's something.
I guess it has been responded to,
Okay.
yes. Yes, it has.
Are those, I mean, because I wondered the same thing, you know, I mean, he had sent us the email stating that there was no response. Do we don't ever get notification necessarily, or like, this has been responded to, or do we, if it was sent to us, do we ever know if there's a response? Or,
John?
If the question pops up when we have our individual meetings, I can indicate something like that.
okay, but it's not, if there was a question addressed to the board as a whole, we don't necessarily get a response from you stating, we're taking care of this, we're looking into it.
Items that aren't the three things that Bonnie was talking about, typical response that a board member would want to give is, we're going to pass this back down to the superintendent for the appropriate parties to respond to, and then we take it from there. If a item ever becomes a public complaint, which would be policy KL, and goes through all the appropriate levels, when it gets to level 4, then it would become a board matter, and you would take it up most likely in a public session, but sometimes an executive session to resolve. But that would be a specific process, followed by a specific policy, and after it had gone through the 3 previous levels. I think if I were to describe kind of the reasoning on that, I would not want to be in the middle of something that you might have to take action on later as a decisive board, having already been in the middle of opinion or response or the action. So waiting till the end and being the final authority on certain matters would be where your purview was intended.
Thank you, John. Okay, moving on to C, we need to reschedule the enrollment work session on a Saturday from 9 to noon.
So Bonnie, remembering that you're going to have the administrative team and several office staff, your full board available, and I think probably 3 hours was the initial indication. I apologize, we weren't able to make the earlier one, but with everybody being here in the room, we can find the next Saturday when that work can happen.
Okay. Do you have any specific Saturdays in mind, John?
This Saturday is short notice. Looking, I've got opportunity February 7th personally, and then it jumps out to the 28th of February. That's not speaking for any of my team or any of you on the board.
Okay. Any conflicts on the 7th of February?
I'm done.
You're gone?
I think you said you weren't available, right? Or
I am available on the 7th and the 28th of February. That's not speaking for me or my team. I'm kind of turning around. So,
31st of January?
I'm not available for that.
Okay, so we're looking at the 28th then, February, is that what I'm understanding?
Do the office managers have to be there, or can we just submit
Well,
the data?
we'll invite them and encourage, but without knowing their answer, I can't guarantee they'll be there. But
Because I will not be there on the 28th.
the administrator's saying thumbs up.
Okay, how about the board? Thumbs up for that?
I'm good.
I'm sketched for a couple months, I mean, for Saturday.
What?
I can't commit for anything on Saturday for probably 2 months, till after February for sure.
So after February?
Yeah. And, might even be beyond that. I mean, I'm supposedly, slowing down, but as of this point,
Welcome to the
I can't say that I've seen a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
That's an important issue though, and I realize that I have some interest in it, so I do, it's the kind of thing I'll try to attend, but, you guys set your date and I'll do the best I can to be there.
Okay, all right, well, let's schedule the 28th then, of February,
9 to 9.
9 to noon, is that? Okay, and that's the enrollment one. Then we have strategic planning.
I think we're gonna try to do that all at the same time, weren't we? Isn't that what the 3 hours
We're gonna
is
do
for?
that for a full day.
Yeah,
We'll have to-
I think that's what the 3 hours were for.
If you want to do that, you'll need to be confirm that Dr. Myers is available to lead that work. So I would maybe suggest closing several dates. You would invite your admin team to that, but they wouldn't necessarily be contingent on you having that meeting with Dr. Myers or not.
All right, do you want to reach out to her and see if the 28th is something that we can maybe do it all in one day?
I think at one point I talked about doing it as a work session prior to a board meeting, so I don't think it's a full 3-hour
Okay.
requirement, and it might be something, if there's maybe some nights during the week that,
We had it initially scheduled before a board
Board
meeting,
meeting,
correct?
yes.
It was- Okay, so maybe
like
something.
once like a 4 o'clock start, so if you're willing to come in on a weeknight, I know specifically she was not available before the February board meeting, she's at a conference, but
We have our thing for that February board meeting, our split. Yeah.
On
we
the
do.
11th?
Yeah,
Yeah, we have.
the RFP opening.
Yeah.
if a couple nights, maybe that first or that third week of February, you would have proposals to her. I know there was a trip, and I think a second trip in February,
Mine's in April.
or, I'm sorry. Okay,
I'm in April, but I'm gone the 6th, 7th.
any major commitments from other board
Cindy?
members?
We have basketball, so unless there's a basketball game, but that's my only thing for evenings.
I'm free.
So would you like Charmin to reach out and get several early February dates confirmed with Dr. Myers that sounds like the board is generally able to attend? I'm trying to,
Yeah,
what I'm hearing.
I think so. Do you agree, does everybody agree with that?
If you're talking basketball, you're gonna have to wait until after February 14th.
or start early in that?
And our games are usually on Tuesdays and Fridays. I don't know if we're thinking a specific day, or if it's a home game.
So, Charmin, non-Tuesday, non-Fridays, early February, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock time range, if Dr. Myers is available.
I can't do the first Thursday. That's my Lions meeting, so.
So maybe the second and third week of February. Although, no, that's right in there, that's your conference.
Well, you're doing the 6th anyways, right? February 6th.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and 5th, 6th, so that. Maybe like the 2nd or the 4th of February?
2nd or 4th of February, and then,
We can't do it on the 4th. That's my birthday. No, it's okay.
We're a big round.
I can be available on the 4th.
yeah, there's gonna, that's the first night of bargaining also on the 4th.
Fourth.
February 2nd is a high school game.
Yes. And it's
What time is that?
the only Monday game that we have scheduled.
And the night.
4:30.
Oh, okay, yeah.
February 2nd, city council meeting, you two are probably
That's
active
true.
in that.
Good call.
Maybe it's broken out in the time slot after President's Day. And we'll just have to see what Dr. Myers and Charmin can come up with and refer back to you guys, non-Tuesdays, non-Fridays.
If it's after, well, we'll see how playoffs go. We may go all the way. But if it's after 2:13, that would be our last scheduled game. So then after that, it'd be
Positives.
That's right. We're gonna all be on a bus, send the boys out.
You know, it's the year of the horse.
Right.
I'm making note here, after President's, not Tuesday.
I'm just gonna have to go back and listen to the
Oh my God.
recording to figure out what day that is.
I sent Sherman the schedule of basketball.
Thank you.
Not the first Monday, not the first Thursday.
Because we're looking for the
No day
week
that ends in Y.
we're looking for the week of President's Day week, minus President's Day, right?
So,
I think, didn't she think about an hour and a half or so beforehand? Isn't that what she said?
No.
About, right.
How much time it would take?
Now, our board meeting is the 11th, correct?
Correct.
no, I'm,
17th to the 20th, you're gone that week.
I'm gone from the 15th to the 21st.
That's President's Day.
Yeah. Oh, no, then I'm thinking the 23rd, the week after.
Okay, can we do it before the next board meeting?
No. Oh. Before the next board meeting,
11th.
I'll be out 3 days at the end of the month, and I'm hearing no on the 2nd, no on the 5th, no on the 4th. So I don't think so.
It's fine.
Oh, are you thinking like
No, no,
2
we're,
or 11?
we have bargaining.
Oh, bargaining. Never mind.
Were you thinking like at 4 o'clock or something before?
Well, I was
we
thinking
could
before the board
possibly-
meeting, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And she's
She's not
specifically not available before the board meeting, 'cause that's that conference. And she's-
Oh, okay.
And then the brackets.
And Bob and I had the,
Mini split.
yeah,
This is fun, isn't it?
Wow. Okay, well, good luck scheduling that.
Kind of complicated schedule.
Wow.
Uh,
Mine's just sports,
I
like
know.
you gotta work all around that.
Okay, so that's, we're gonna wait to find out what those,
We'll send that out through email and make sure we have a correct understanding of dates, and please, just keep an eye on your district email from Charmin for those. And we'll get you set up with a district email, Chris, in the meantime.
I think I got an email from Trump, which one's from?
She's in the office.
Oh, she's in here, okay. So, I don't know what it means to be set up with a district email.
Yeah.
Oh, so I can, official type email, I can.
You'll be Chris.long@reeds.
Oh, I got you.
K-12.
It's just what I need is another email. Okay, all right, I got it.
Welcome aboard.
I might even use it.
Okay, so, under discussion also is, I want to bring up staff appreciation, from the school board. And we're talking about doing it again we did last couple of years in April. And we did 2 days. One day was for RCCS and one day was for Highland. The board brought a meal. Last year, I think we did a taco bar.
Yep.
And that was really successful. And I'm thinking that maybe I suggest that we do that again this year. And get those dates scheduled. And we talked about that a little while ago.
March 30th and 31st.
March 30th and 31st for those 2 days. And we just need to make sure that the schedules for the Highland and RCCS are available, which day is preferred.
No, we're good.
You're good?
That was a no to him, and yes to you.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so we just need to,
30, either one of those days.
okay, Jerry, you guys too, either one? Either one of those days? Okay, so let's flip a coin. You can say,
Whatever, yeah, whatever you guys want.
Madam Chairman, usually we hold this the week before spring break, and we do one building on the Tuesday and one building on the Thursday.
oh,
Just your schedule conflict or
well, yeah, okay, thank you, Charmin. We talked about this, that with the dates that the board can be available for that. That's why we were looking clear to the end of March, just prior to April, because of vacation schedulings for some members. So is that a problem?
No, we will do it whenever you guys are available.
Okay, all right. Well, let's schedule it for the 30th and 31st of March. That's a little bit ahead of April, but that's okay. And we will do, why don't we do the high school on the 30th and Highland on the 31st? Does that work? Okay. And then another thing I have that want to bring up to the board here is board training by the OSBA. And I've already been in contact with Vince Adams, who is a born and raised Reedsportian and still has family here, and he works for the OSBA, and he has done training in the past. Bob and I have both attended those sessions. They will be on Saturdays. We haven't scheduled dates yet. That's another Saturday scheduling time that we need to do. I really, really, really can't emphasize how important it is to get this board training, as the laws are changing continually. And we need to know exactly where our focus is as a board, what we can do, what we can't do. And they're like 3-hour sessions. And Vince said that he would be available to do those on Saturdays. Weekdays are impossible because you guys are working, and sounds like a lot of vacations are planned. So I'm thinking of maybe once a month, one Saturday a month, or it might end up being one Saturday every other month. So any comments?
Are you wanting to try to pick our first date now? Or
Yes,
okay.
because I'm going to be talking to Vince tomorrow to get some dates scheduled.
Okay.
So we need to look at our calendars again.
Here the next 2 weeks.
You've already got one on the 28th. That would be a long day, but
Mhm.
you could start with that since you seem to have already committed That date.
That date's, yeah, I think that date's out, so probably wouldn't go in, then probably wouldn't be able to start until March.
Does John have to be here for that?
It's just the OSBA and the school board members.
I mean, I think that's why we didn't go with February a lot, because he was here,
Yeah.
because he was gone, but if he doesn't have to be here with just us.
I've been in the meetings previously so that I can remind folks what we've talked about and as needed, guide the chair or guide the board on a decision.
That's fine, I just didn't know.
So February, you want to say the one for February?
Oh, no, not if he's not gonna be here, if he needs to
Okay.
be here, then.
Right.
that's fine.
So we'll go to March. And other than the 28th, if they have something in March.
I think I'm open to all Saturdays.
I could not do.
You're not gonna get any commitments out of me until I can. I mean, I'm gonna do some of this stuff, I just don't know which of them I'm gonna do, so. It'd be best if you guys said it without me, and then I'll just target the ones I can get. I can tell you this much, February 28th is, he asked me to pick one day that absolutely can happen, that's the one.
That's the one day.
And pretty much the whole month of March isn't good either, but something can be
Okay, I just,
squeezed in, and I can make a commitment at some point, just not tonight.
okay, I just want to get some, maybe tentative dates set up, so that we can get our hand. What I wanted to do was have it taken care of this spring, because a lot of hunting and stuff goes on in the fall, you know, and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of people are busy and vacations and that kind of stuff too. So I was trying to make something that might be a little bit more friendly to opening days. So,
Every weekend in March.
any weekend in March,
Every weekend, so.
okay?
I don't
Cindy?
know about anybody else.
Yeah, as of now, I think any date can work.
Bob?
Bonnie, 7 and 21 and 22 in March. Available.
The 7th and the 21st?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's do the 7th. I'll, put that down.
And Bonnie,
Yes.
Chris has indicated that March is probably not a great month for him, being a new board member. It's prolonging training, getting started, but the first session that Vince would offer, I think, would be important.
The most important one,
You
so
know,
maybe April then?
You might be looking at April.
Sure, the last part of April, you do that.
Well, I'm open, Chris, for it, because,
This is just a little bit early for me to know what I've got. I mean, other than all those days are bad. I mean, that's just normal. But it might not be so bad because things are changing, but it's a little early for me to know that.
okay, so
So
maybe,
I don't want to do anything in February, no, for sure,
okay.
yeah. But March, if you guys set a date, I got it, I can mark some time.
Oh, you're already.
Are you talking about
okay, done.
Saturdays here still?
Yeah,
Yeah, I could probably.
because the
Well,
28th.
this is for this board training
This is for
thing?
the board training. You're already obligated on the 28th of March,
I'm obligated for what?
the 28th of March.
What is that, board training?
No,
Oh, something else? Okay, I know what I was getting into here. I mean, I'm gonna try to ease my way into this as best as I can. You guys know what I do,
do you want to
so.
quit that? That's the,
I wasn't really, I didn't know for sure I was gonna be sitting there tonight,
Surprise. What's the 28th of March?
so. I didn't hear that one, but
I don't have anything on my calendar.
that's far enough out there that I could give a tentative yay.
Yeah,
maybe it's, okay,
It's February.
I'm sorry, it's February 28th.
February 28th is out.
February 28th.
No way.
So we'll try for 3/28 maybe?
Yeah. I can, something, I'll be able to do some of that stuff, and I might be able to do it all, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I kind of agree with John about the very first training.
Okay.
Would be, it'd be one, probably the most primo one to attend.
I know my way around, I won't get us into trouble, but that's fine. I still will do the thing,
Well,
yeah.
Okay, well, I thought I knew stuff too, when I came on, I don't know.
It's fine, it'll
Is it
make,
like
it'll make
riding a bike?
everybody feel better, and I got it. I'm
Okay,
not-
so we'll just do March then, right?
March what?
Are we on 28th?
7 or 21.
7 or 21.
Oh, well, neither one of those really makes any difference to me, whatever's best for you
Good, I'm
guys.
glad you said it.
I'll make it, I'll conform.
I feel like we should be betting on this.
Well, it's-
I know, right?
there is a
Okay.
probability element to all of my movements.
If you say the 7th, that keeps you available that evening for the Reef dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Reef
Yeah,
dinner.
the Reef
So
dinner.
you'll have a morning, you'll get a little break, then you can go down to Reef.
Okay, that's right, I just got that letter too. Okay, how about the 7th then? Let's just get it done and get that day done.
That's your OSBA
The OSBA,
session 1.
yeah. Mhm.
And what time are we starting?
It'd be 9 o'clock,
Okay.
yeah. Okay,
That's a Saturday.
that's a Saturday, yeah. Okay, so then April, a lot of people are gone in April. So then the next one, maybe we'll skip April and maybe do, one in May.
What are you talking about now? More board training?
Yeah,
There's more than one.
there's more than one.
There's a bunch of them.
I mean, they're not the same, what do they build on? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they build up.
So how many total hours? I mean, 3 hours a pop, how many pops?
I don't even remember.
We did at least 5 of them last time we went through.
5
this.
in 1 year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Well, you're not scaring me off yet.
What's scary is when you have to review all of our policies.
We can probably do that one at a time.
We did that in bulk. So, that's, yeah. Okay, so in May, anybody have any preferences in May?
Just
Second.
not Memorial Day weekend.
May
Okay,
2nd,
that's
we'll
fair.
Start right off.
I just want to remind you that we also have budget meetings in May, so if you're talking about having lots of meetings, maybe having the one in April so that you can pace yourself. Because usually we have 2 budget meetings in May plus the board meeting.
That's true. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you.
Yeah. Are we doing the end of May, April?
14th.
Okay, so we're moving on to June.
If they did it the Sunday of June graduation, then they could go to graduation right after.
June then?
I think he was being sarcastic about that.
He's definitely being sarcastic.
You're not off yet.
Somebody else. I'm not the only one.
You don't get off until the 30th, right, of June?
No, I said if you did it the morning of graduation, then you could all go to graduation.
We
Afterwards.
have to be, we have to be there anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
No, let's not. Let's not.
You might be busy.
I will be busy on that day. I will be busy on that day.
What month are you looking at now, Bonnie?
June,
So we're going May to June.
There's nothing in May?
there's nothing in May because we have budget meetings in May. And board meeting in May. Yeah. So it has to
What
be.
day's graduation?
It's the 7th. And then we have a board meeting on the 10th.
Yep.
So. If you want to just wrap things up, we could do it on the 13th of June. Saturday. Because I'm gone on July. We come back in August. We're dark this July, right, the board?
The board would have to vote on the calendar.
Okay,
Being dark could be one of your options.
okay. Okay, so what do you guys say about the 13th of June then for the next training with OSBA? Are you gonna be here?
The second one is the 7th. Are you saying no, it's the 13th now?
The 7th is graduation.
So we're doing it the 13th.
I won't be able to do all day on the 7th.
We need to start getting paid for this.
You've seen the budget.
So the 13th is okay?
Nothing in June.
Yeah, I'll be baseball, but we'll have a schedule and I'll let you know if for some reason it doesn't work, but that could be the only conflict that I have.
Okay, so let's tentatively schedule the 13th of June for the second one. We'll just carry it through June and see how that plays out. Okay?
So to confirm,
Can Sherman follow up?
Yeah, we're gonna get emails on this.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have my phone, so.
She's
I
gonna
need
have
it by
to
day,
watch
so
the
it
whole
doesn't matter.
board thing over again.
Okay.
You got June 13th. And you have
Yes.
OSD 1 and OSD 2.
Yes.
And the 28th is our board meeting.
February 28th is your enrollment meeting.
Okay, okay, I have something else, like you guys. Mr. Smith and I went to the legislative session, that was last Tuesday, wasn't it? And, the legislators were there, and they gave their talk about what's going on in the legislature with education and all that kind of stuff. So, I have to tell you, the room was packed, and there were superintendents from the South Coast area, principals, teachers from the whole South Coast area there, and everybody was very honest about what they feel is going on in education, where there were some positives in there, there were some negatives in there, and they're always looking for the legislatures to help us get what we need to get for our students. All of us are having to have the same thing with dealing with ODE on what they're demanding that we do, what we're required to report-ish things are just off the wall. There's so many demands for reporting of special education, other classes, how many minutes are they teaching this and that. And that being said, the only required minutes that a district is required of students is PE. They don't have the required amount of minutes for reading or history or math or anything like that. It's PE, which I think is kind of
Odd.
it's backwards. It's backwards, and PE is important, I get it, but to where that is the main focus is, to me, that's a broken system. But special education is another area that was brought up a lot, and not just our district, but other districts too. We're having higher caseloads of special education students. The problem is that the state will only pay, they have a cap at 11%. So you have a school district and you're only going to get money for 11% population of special education students. In Reedsport here alone, we are at 21% special ed. So that's 10% the funding that we are not getting from the state, but they're demanding that we serve these children, and we do serve these students. The unfortunate thing is if we had that funding, in my opinion, is that we would be able to bring back some additional IAs for assistance, helping in those areas and stuff where it's desperately needed. The recommendation is to call your legislators, tell them what you're demanding for this next session coming up. some of the issues some of the teachers had were behavior issues in the classroom and no accountability. Classroom clears, you know, and we've gotten to be such a hands-off with our students, and I get that. But there's no accountability for the students to have to be better. There's no accountability for the parents to make sure that their kids are doing as they're supposed to be doing, getting them to school on time, getting them to school at all, are things that we used to be able to do. We can't do that anymore. So consequently, we are in a situation that needs a lot of help, and we're going to have to look to the legislature and to Oregon Department of Education too, I'm assuming, to make our make known how we are here. We can only speak for ourselves, and I encourage everybody to do that too.
Fine. The main takeaway on communication that we heard that night was because there's going to be so much federal uncertainty that the legislators have to deal with in a short session on not cutting anything in education is probably the most significant ask, because there's also going to be housing and there's also going to be all the social services begging for more support. So emphasizing not to cut. And the one thing that Oregon education has that none of those other areas are going to be able to get into is the Education Stability Fund. Right now, Oregon has an Education Stability Fund. It has a cap. It is maxed out. So there's no reason not to spend some of that money down. It refills, I believe, with $3. And because it refills so quickly, it's been accessed 9 times since its inception, and about 20 years ago. It's currently capped out, and unless the legislature changes the cap from, I think it's 5% of the previous year's, there's a formula for it. Unless they increase the cap, it's not going to get any more money in it by trying to save. And spending money from that Education Stability Fund to keep Oregon education whole this year. You know, you've been reading in the newspaper and watching the news about bishops are already furloughing, they're already cutting staffs. We're not in that type of position, but a lot of places who haven't dealt with it earlier are in those positions, and any cuts will further increase the amount of impact you would see. Accessing the Education Stability Fund, which they're allowed to do, which is capped out at the moment, will just help prevent a last-minute change that might further impact education and give us time to plan. Whatever the legislature has to do, they're going to have to do. Whatever the funding impacts are from the federal government will be what they are, but don't cut Oregon education. Use that education stability money to keep us whole so we have time to plan, especially as we're trying to do these budgets for the next year. Give us something to work with and don't surprise us.
What's the fund for?
For education stability. It's only to be spent on education.
Define stability, what? Teachers, I mean, that's a broad, they have all this money and they picked into it 9 times.
Yeah.
For what?
It backfills into the general,
It goes to the
general state school fund. You know how it calculates 5%, I think it's 5% of the starting amount for the biennium. And so for the entire biennium, the cap is set. Every biennium it'll go up a smidge because it's the starting amount. And currently lottery dollars have filled it. And so it's going to sit there. It's not going to gain any more money. And if we don't spend it down, there's no more room for future liability.
Who decides who spends it?
The legislature. So if they will vote to spend the dollars, then it will go straight into education only. It can't go to transportation or human services or anything else. It's just for education. So spending that money down, other areas in our state fund, state government is going to take hits because we're just anticipating that, but not impacting us. Using that education stability fund is the key message we want the legislators to hear over and over. It has been spent. can't gain anymore. Spend it down, let the lottery dollars fill it back up again in a couple years. That's the purpose of that money.
How much is in the fund?
Several millions. It's significant money, and it will probably offset the cuts they're having to look at. The state government was ordered to do an exercise of what would it look like if we cut 2.5% from your budget, what would it look like if we cut 5% from your budget. They do that pretty regularly, but this year there's a real strong belief that that's going to be an actual thing that occurs. And so the legislature already has access to what does a 2.5% look like to all state funds and all state budgets, and what does a 5% look like. So in education, 2.5% or 5% cut to our state dollars will be devastating, especially because we're so close to our end of the year. The monies we've been spending and budgeting from last year, it'll wipe some people out. So using that stability fund, not surprising us, giving us a chance to adopt any changes that the legislature has to deal with, and not hit us today. Give us a chance to look at it.
Robin says there's currently $1 billion in that.
Okay.
So how would that be divvied up?
$1 billion.
By the same way that it's put out probably by
There's
students.
I'm sorry, did you say $1 billion in the fund?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the mechanism they came up with about 20 years ago, Bob. And it sits there, it fills up from lottery money, and then it has a
What
cap.
are we even talking, I mean, this is absurd.
This was,
That's what was presented, not just by John to the legislators, but other people that were at the meeting. They also mentioned that stability fund.
and in the 20 years that, since they created that fund, it's in this term the rainy day fund. It's been accessed 9 times already and fills back up. I mean, the lottery dollars put money in there only for education. It's maxed out spending. And a lot of
Do you believe they're actually spending it on education? I don't. You know, those people up there,
Well, they are spending the Ed Stability Fund on education, but as it remains capped, the interest is not required to be spent on education.
so they take the interest.
Take the interest.
So that's what they're doing.
Most of our legislatures were new in this last election, so they're in their sophomore year. They may not have been around the last time the Education Stability Fund was accessed. They may not really understand. They may have a sense that, oh, we should keep that for an even rainier day. It's capped out right now.
You know, isn't it ironic that when they started doing the lottery, you know, here, and that was the big gift, was that it was going to help education and stuff, and we are.
I mean,
Pull this out.
4.6% is the interest rate of our local government investment pool that for us right now, so 4.6% on $1 billion.
Every year. Wow.
So that's the communication point we want the legislators to hear. And there are some in the room that didn't know that. And so the fact that they don't know that, they need to have that kind of information, because that really is an easy fix. Keep education whole. Going to have to make cuts other places and use these education stability dollars to keep education whole, because we know you're going to have to make cuts and tough decisions.
Thank you, John. I was hoping you'd bring that up. You can explain that better than me. But it was well worth going to, and it was well attended. It was very well attended, and they fed you too. Yeah, they put up a good meal too. It was very good. So, and it could have gone on longer than 2 hours. Easy. I think people had lots to say. So, okay. All right. Any more community comments? No? Okay. Board member comments?
You know what, for what it's worth, super majority in legislature. It's been that way for 30, 40 years here. Think about who you're voting for. That's all I say.
Chris?
Oh, I could go off, but I think I'll save it for another time. What John's talking about, I understand the political implications of why it's been done that way. And I don't think it's gonna change much. They'll do what they can, but I think that Oregon has got itself in a pickle here. There's no getting around it. I mean, I was born here. I watched this whole thing develop, and it hasn't gotten any better for a long time. And it's about ready to get probably the worst it's ever been. There's no magic bullet here. So school districts have suffered for 30, 40 years, like Bob said, and they're probably going to continue to suffer. But so I don't have any fix or any ideas that's going to solve it. Bob's probably right. Be careful who you vote for, and cross our fingers and hope for the best. Huh?
Well, I'm gonna say something positive.
Yeah, yeah, fine.
I wanna say thank you. This is just really nice to all the work that went into honoring us doing what we do. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody that put effort into thanking us. And I thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Future agendas. January 27th through the 28th, 2026, Coalition of Oregon School Administrators, CASA, is the winter conference. Dawn, you'll be going to that? Okay. And Wednesday, February 11th, at 5 p.m. is the agenda review work session before the next board meeting. At 5:30 is the regular session board meeting in February. And February 17th through the 20th, John is out of district. And without any other things to add to